Hello, everybody. Arkansas Minute Man 0864 here. Welcome to part 3 of an RT members loadout that ran for the reconnaissance teams with MACV SOG. Now, I might clarify something. I've had people argue with me on YouTube and other places. Long-range reconnaissance patrols, aka LRPs, and RT teams, they're basically one and the same. They were both doing long-range reconnaissance. It's just that when MACV SOG started them up, they give them RT names, aka recon teams, and they give them different names. It depended whether you were an I Corps, Second Corps, Third Corps, Fourth Corps. You had some by states, some by snakes, some by other names, but an RT team and a LRP team were both one and the same. They were doing the same mission, trying to get the same results. So, with that being said, today we're going to go over like the sustainment loadout of what an RT team member would be carrying on his back. We have gone over what he carried in his pockets on his uniform. I have showed you a depiction of what was carried on his web gear, aka load bearing equipment, aka LBE, and about half a dozen more different names you can call it. Today we're going to go over what he carried in a rucksack, and I'm going to show you 4 different rucks, and I'm going to explain them to you. One of them is a depiction of the old CISO pack that was made in Okinawa for the SOG units. I haven't quite been able to get one, an original one that I could purchase yet that was in good enough shape for the prices they're asking. I just had one. One of the straps was about ripped off. There was holes wore in the bottom of it. One of the straps for the flap was about wore into, and they're asking like $450 for it. Sorry. $450, it's going to have to be in a lot better shape than that. I'm not going to find one in immaculate shape. The odds of that, I'd stand a better chance of going out here and finding hen's teeth than finding that. I will pay a good price for one, but I will pay according to the condition it's in. So if anybody out there knows where I can find one for a good, decent price that's in good shape, comment down in the comments down there and let me know where I can reach out to whoever or wherever, and I'll check it out. The one that I am currently using that is a depiction of the CISO pack made by the CIA for them in Okinawa is actually modeled off of the same pack. It's a little bit bigger than what the ones they carried over there. It's missing the pocket on the back of the pack, or what some people will call the front pack, the part that rides against the person's back. It's missing that pocket, and I think I might be able to come up with some pretty close canvas and actually get one sewed on there to make it a better depiction of it. But everything else about it is pretty much identical. So, with that being said, one more thing. You know, I got to go out there and cover my arse out there with the YouTube censorship Nazis that they got going on out there. So here's my disclaimer. Anything that you see out here that is ordinance-wise are all reproduction inert. And for you civilians, that means it don't go kaboom. Training aids. That's all they are training aids. Totally inert. No explosives in them, nothing. They're used for depiction purposes only. Anything that may fall underneath the rules and policies for exportation out of the country under ITARs, let me clarify right now, I'm not exporting anything out of the country. When I sell on eBay, I do not even sell outside of the country. So everything that you see here is staying here for the time being. If I do sell it, it will be sold locally within the continental United States. I don't even export them outside the lower 48 states when I do sell them. And honestly, I haven't sold anything yet. So it takes care of that problem. So YouTube, you can leave me the hell alone. So now we got all the bull crap out of the way. Let's get started on this and show you what we got here. Stand by for the display. Okay, folks, here we go. Are you ready? There's the entire display. I'm going to give you an overview and then I'm going to zoom it in on individual items and let you get to see it all. And we'll talk about everything. Okay, let's zoom it in and let's get started. All right, we're going to start over here on the left, go up to the top, and work back down, up and down till we get it all. All right, first up, right here. This is the lightweight rucksack that everybody calls a jungle ruck, which it isn't. The history of this rucksack is it was developed for use in Arctic warfare, and the reason that the pack was made small and put on the bottom of the ruck frame was that on top of the ruck frame is where, and I've got it covered up with a poncho and an original Erdl poncho liner here. That is where the sleeping bag would go for Arctic conditions. I have got about 5 of these rucks. They're all complete. They all have the shelves. They actually also had the buttstock holder and strap assembly for attaching your weapon up along, putting it down at the bottom of the pack in the holder, and it ran up, tied off to the side of the frame. Now on here, I've got two quart canteens with covers attached to each side. Both of these are dated 1968. I have got 2 1-quart canteens, both of these, one here, one hanging off of a carabiner up off the frame, are dated 1970. These are all original items right here. Like I said, this is an original Vietnam era poncho, heavy rubberized poncho. Inside of it, I have it tied inside of it with an original Erdl poncho liner. And this would have been rolled up and strapped to the top of the frame like the sleeping bag in Arctic conditions would have been. All right, going further up, we have here an Arvin pack. It wound up being adopted by U.S. soldiers because of its small, unique features. It's got 2 pockets on the outside. It's got the 1910 hook on the side and up here at the top, where here they would go and hang the 1943 folding shovel cover off of and run the handle down between the 2 pockets here, and would be tied off right here. This one is complete. Actually, this one has never been issued. I looked out on this one, and don't ask me how much I paid for it, because I paid a pretty penny. Up above is an NVA pack canvas. This one is in a green color. Some of them were khaki colored. And this is actually one similar to the one that my cousin used in Vietnam. He carried an NVA rucksack with him. and he carried very little in it, and we'll talk about that. Now, everything you're going to see here is stuff that soldiers may have carried in their rucks and whatnot, and all of that. Moving over to the right here, we have the Claymore mine. We got 100-foot of depth cord here for hooked into the clacker, and then the fuse was put into the wells right here. You would take one of these plugs out and stick the fuse in there and screw it in, hook it to the clacker, and it was ready to go. Above the clacker is the test set, and then it's all laying on the Claymore bag right here. All right. Over to that is an example of a LRPS ration right here. Down below that, on some of the missions, the guys would actually take blocks of C4 with them. And YouTube, all I'm showing you right now are all inert training aids. And the only thing I'm missing from here, and I've got it ordered, is some reproduction fuses and blasting caps. And the cap would have been, you would have taken the demo pocket knife, punched a hole in the end of the block, stuck the fuse in it, and then put the fuse in the end cap of that. And when you got ready to go, you would simply take this ring that you can see right here, and you'd pull it. It would ignite the fuse, and then you'd have however much time the fuse was cut for. Next to it is a VS-17 panel, which they would use for signaling or setting out on a landing zone for the helicopters to come in and pick them up. Come down here. I'm going to cover all this right here at one time. We have an assortment of smoke grenades and centenary grenade. They would carry one of each color, and there will be several members carrying one of each color. And then also here we have a Willie Pete white phosphorus smoke grenade, and then a bursting white phosphorus grenade. Next to this is an original camera like a lot of the teams had in Vietnam. And for you youngsters out there, it is used 35mm film. It didn't put an SD card in this one. No such a thing. They would also carry spare grenades in their rucksack. As I stated in the last one, a lot of guys would carry a dozen or more hand grenades with them. Grenades were really unique because when they got in a RON site and Charlie or the NVA might be sneaking around trying to figure out where they bedded down at, instead of opening fire and giving away their position, they could go and pull a grenade out, pull the pin, and throw it. And in the dark, Charlie he didn't know where it come from. It just all of a sudden down at his feet, and he got a problem. So a lot of them carried grenades. They're also good for breaking contact if they got into contact. Here we got the white heavy-duty work gloves that a lot of them wore. Now, what a lot of them did was they either spray painted them or they took their face paint and just coated it to get rid of that white cream colored color of them. And a lot of them actually cut their fingertips off so that from their knuckle forward, their fingers were exposed. A lot of times teams would use a lot of CS grenades. So they carried this XM 128E4 type mask, which was only like covered the nose and mouth. It didn't cover the eyes. And they would use that. Tunnel rats also used this also when they went down into the tunnels. Also, now we get over here to the other side. I have another issued rubberized heavy poncho. And this is the rucksack that is depicting the CISO Okinawa-made ruck. This was actually issued to Forestry Service guys fighting forest fires, and it was modeled after the CISO. Only thing is, they made the main compartment just a hair bigger. Up at the top of it, I've got a carabiner hooked to the strap, and this was so that if they got hooked onto like a Stabo rig or a McGuire rig, and they could hook it to the ropes, and that way they could get it off their back and hook it to the ropes, and it went out with them. Inside this rucksack, carried in a plastic bag, and this is one of the items my cousin carried. This is issued sleep shirt, and they actually still issued this when I was in. I don't know if the Army still is or not. If they're not, they need to start issuing it again. Also, right here is a jungle hammock that's complete. I got 2 bandoliers, each holding, it's either 8 or 10. There's 8 of them, 20 round magazines. Here's a signal flare that they would carry. Usually the ones that they would carry would be either a green one or it would be a red one. Red being a wave off like for gunships or whatnot. Green would be that they will clear to come in and land. All right, over here I've got 5, there's 4 more LARP rations right here. And the 2 outer pockets of this rucksack, like right about there, and right here is 2 more 1-quart canteens. And as you can see, there's halon tablet bottles taped to the top lid of them. Also in this rucksack is I keep a Claymore mine, aka training aid, packed in this also. And over here I got 2 pair of Army issued green socks and a Ziploc bag. Now up here on this we have another Vietnam issued heavy rubberized poncho. And this, I have got another jungle hammock, and this one's opened up. You can see some of the cords and bungee cords and whatnot. And an original olive drab Vietnam issued poncho liner. This is the color they were originally issued in, olive drab. That's all rolled up into one, and I did have it over here on top of this jungle ruck when I had everything packed in it. So, with that being said, that pretty much covers most everything that they would carry in a rucksack. There's a lot of stuff. This is why the guys that you hear talk about that ran with them, talking about their ruck was 80, 100 pounds or more. This is why. They took what they could get because there was no guarantee there would be a resupply for anything. And if it got hot and heavy, most of the time helicopters wouldn't even fly in and try to resupply. Every once in a while, you'd find one pilot that apparently his balls were bigger than his brain was, and he would fly in and try to resupply them. Sometimes they succeeded. Sometimes they wound up on the ground and hoped that somebody from the team could get to them and get them pulled into their perimeter. And they wound up becoming an infantryman instead of an aviator at that point. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay tuned. Part 3 is, well, this is part 3. Part 4 is coming up, and that is going to be showing you some of the stuff that their counterpart would have been carrying, aka Victor Charlie or November Alpha. So stay tuned for that one. It might be a week or 2 before it comes out, but I promise you it will be coming out. Hope you've enjoyed this. Leave your comments down in the comment section. And again, don't go whining about something I left out or something don't look right. It all varied. And this is stuff that in 50 plus years of researching MACV SOG and talking to actual members with SOG, this is actual stuff I have been told and read about that they used and they carried. So, hope you enjoy it. And as always, pay attention to detail and survive.